We are going to be talking about Galaxy Quest 2, and apparently Tim Allen has confirmed that Galaxy Quest 2 talks are still happening. And I have a feeling that the talks are like, how much am I going to make for this?
I think it was tough. They had this whole like web show they were going to do a long time ago. I mean, we're talking about probably like 9 years ago.
I remember
they were going to do this. Remember that?
I'm so glad that didn't happen because web series did not work out.
Right. And they couldn't do it because Alan Rickman ended up dying.
Right.
So it like changed the face of everything. Okay, now how do we do this, or what do we do? So what's the skinny on what's going on now?
Yeah, and well, here's the skinny. Tim Allen reveals that he is still actively involved in talking about the possible Galaxy Quest 2, despite the tragic loss of Alan Rickman in 2016. This is what it says. It says, while it has been 23 years... Has it been 23 years? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
God.
We've gotten old somewhere.
I got to stop for a second because it's been 23 years? I am like blown away right now. I did not expect that number. I am so old. Oh my God. Because
now that Brian's having a midlife crisis.
Because I watched this, I was an adult when I watched this. It's been 23 years?
Yeah, I mean I guess so. You were barely
I was barely an adult, but I was an adult. I remember I was living with our cousin Todd. I had moved out of our house when I saw this movie.
Yeah, I frequently have these thoughts about things like every day now. So as you get older, this becomes more like, what was it the other day? Something was like 25 years old, and I'm like, oh, yeah. I was watching the movie Tales from the Dark Side.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
The movie, like there's a TV show little thing, but a movie came out. It had Christian Slater and a bunch of Steve Buscemi, a bunch of famous actors now. Yep. And I looked at the year on it, and it was 1990, and I went, that's 32 years ago.
Oh yeah, I made that Stargate trailer for the We Want Stargate hashtag.
Yeah,
and in the trailer it was like 35 years or something like that. And someone was like, "Has it? That's not right. It hasn't been that long." I'm like, "Actually, it has. Like, go back to when the movie came out. Oh my God."
Oh, from the 80s, yeah, or I don't know,
90s, early 90s.
Well, 90 to now is 32 years.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's been a long time.
Yeah.
So 23 years since Galaxy Quest was first released, the film star Tim Allen reveals the talks about a possible Galaxy Quest 2 are still very much ongoing. It's a long time to be ongoing, but okay.
It's like a struggle for relevance. I mean, people would show up gangbusters for it, so somebody wants to make it. Right.
You're right. A parody of Star Trek and similar sci-fi fandoms, the 1999 comedy outing featured Alan, Sigourney Weaver, Alec Rickman, and others. I mean, you guys are forgetting about plenty of other people. And in fact, I think a couple of actors are even more famous than Sigourney Weaver and Alec Rickman ever were, right?
Well, it's hard to be more famous than them, but
Tony Shalhoub, the guy that played a guy, his name is oh my God, I'm forgetting right now.
Tony is from the Monk,
right?
And from he played that show Wings,
right? And the guy who played Guy, he was in Moon, Iron Man. I'm forgetting his name right now.
Oh yeah, he's been in a ton of stuff.
Anyways, over the years since its original theatrical release, the film has gone on to become a cult classic, praised by not only critics and audiences but also several stars of the Star Trek franchise itself. Like, I know it was a parody of Star Trek, but like it wasn't like a jokey parody. So whenever I see parody of Star Trek, I feel like it's more an homage to Star Trek, in my opinion.
Yeah. Some other notables, Sam Rockwell is who you were talking about.
Sam Rockwell. Thank you. Sorry to put you on the spot. Sam Rockwell.
Justin Long, Rainn Wilson was in it. Yeah. So.
Right. Incredible. Yeah. Okay. So this would be this cast would actually be so expensive to get back in this time. In this time, now that they're all basically A-list actors.
It would make its money though.
It would. So while talk of a possible Galaxy Quest sequel has been doing the rounds ever since the first film release, nothing has ever managed to materialize. In an interview Alan conducted with comicbook.com, however, the actor admits he is still talking with his fellow crew members about the possibility of a sequel, and is unsure why no one has not happened already. I mean, that's obviously a typo. He's unsure why it hasn't happened already. He also speaks about what's that?
I said, "Come on, Screen Rant."
Come on, Screen Rant. He also speaks about the previous draft script that featured the late Rickman, and here's his actual comment. Consistently, this crew and everyone else with Galaxy Quest has been fighting to do this moments later when the Thermians come back. We literally just talked about this yesterday, a group of us here, and we don't know why it hasn't happened. There's been a script and our friend Alan Rickman passed away, so that script involved him and I and the whole story disappeared. The story itself was so clever and so fun. I love that crew. I love everything about Galaxy Quest.
I argue it would be difficult to do it without Alan Rickman. Alan Rickman was kind of the yin to Tim Allen's yang in that movie. He was the counterbalance. And what character would step up to be his counterbalance to keep him, because,
Sigourney Weaver.
No, I don't think she successfully can do that.
But she could do it if they change her character a little bit. Like, say it's been 25 years and now they're married in real life, and this next adventure, you get like that the couple's playback going on too. Like, it would work.
You'd also need you'd also need to get that fish out of water feeling again if you do a second one. So it would need to be, and granted, it would be 20 plus years later, so that's good. And you would have to get that feeling of them being like on the bridge again and like, what am I doing here? I never wanted to do this again. I'm not, they would need to get that story back somehow, because I think that's the magic that occurs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. But can I ask whoever, if anyone ever sees this that has anything to do with the Galaxy Quest sequel, can I just plead with you from a fan's perspective? Do not involve children. Do not make it out. Don't make it Tim Allen and Sigourney Weaver's kids that go on this mission, or that have that fish out of water experience.
No, that wouldn't be good.
That would take the whole thing and just drag it down to not less important. Which I feel like that's what a lot of these like sequels that come out like so many years later, they involve like the kids and they're teenagers, and don't do that, guys. Please don't do that.
Yeah, that would not be good. It looks like it's like DreamWorks Pictures is who produced the film. So DreamWorks Pictures owns it. God, have you seen a lot of DreamWorks stuff lately?
I thought they were acquired by Disney a long time ago.
Well, DreamWorks was, of course, famously Steven Spielberg and I think Jeffrey Katzenberg. Some of these people come together to build the studio. I
know. I remember that the logo with the kid fishing. Right. That's like their stinger. Yeah, but I don't remember. I literally haven't seen a movie since. I assume that they were like merged with someone or something.
Maybe, DreamWorks, let's see what they got coming out, because this is really what's going to happen to see who, if it's not getting done, this is why.
Yes, Jeremy Snyder. I basically want Tim Allen and Weaver to be Ed and Kelly from Orville. Can we do that? Let's just make this.
That would be kind of cool.
The unofficial Orville movie. Call it a day.
That would be pretty cool.
Archmage says DreamWorks did 1917. So I guess they're still around.
Yeah, I'm seeing a bunch of animation stuff here in IMDb. So
there was another couple of things that came out last year. I guess Simon Pegg was trying to write a script for a TV series for Amazon or something. Remember that? And I guess that just sort of fizzled off, I guess.
It just keeps dying, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I believe that they are missing an opportunity here, because Galaxy Quest, whether it's a sequel to the movie or it's a TV series, whatever, would be huge. I think it would make its money regardless of how much money you spent on the casting. I think it would really go a long way. This movie is not just a cult status, but like it's a sci-fi movie in its own right. People love this film, love it. I remember when I was designing a bunch of T-shirts years ago. Everyone kept asking, like, "Oh, what do you guys want? What do you want to make T-shirts for?" Everyone kept asking for the same thing: more Galaxy Quest. And I'm like, the movie hasn't been around for 20 years. Okay, all right. So people love this movie, and there's no reason to bring it back. And I feel like a lot of these actors are close to the end of their careers. So if you don't do it in the next, like, 5 or 6 years, you might just be out that opportunity, in my opinion.
It's a good point. DreamWorks, and I think that's, like I said, again, it's going to be, the secret here is going to be DreamWorks. They made movies like Saving Private Ryan, Catch Me If You Can, Letters from Iwo Jima, Galaxy Quest, Castaway, Lincoln, Almost Famous. They have some incredible movies.
Oh, yeah.
That they've made. So there's got to be a really good reason why they haven't brought them back. I'm guessing they were pretty serious about it until Alan Rickman died. So I'm assuming that whatever script they're coming up with, they're going to have a hard time counterbalancing that. But it's going to happen regardless at some point because it's just going to make too much money, and studios don't like to sit on stuff. The question is DreamWorks doesn't necessarily need to do this movie because they don't really need the money. Like, I'm sure they want to make it, but we're talking about Steven Spielberg here. So,
right.
Like, he doesn't have to make it unless he feels like it's going to be a really good movie. And I think that's probably why it hasn't been made yet.
Imagine that Galaxy Quest 2, directed by Steven Spielberg.
Right. Universal would have made it already, like 15 years ago.
Right.
So maybe that's why we haven't seen it yet.
All right. That's it. Well, let us know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. You guys looking forward to a new Galaxy Quest? Do you want it? Do you want it now? Or you're like, you know what? Let's just wait and reboot the whole thing. Because I don't want that. But I also don't want to do it with kids. Don't make it so where he's like a grandpa and his kids are going to, don't do that. Please don't do that.
Yeah, we're getting close to being too old.
We're getting close to being too old. And if they do it, it's going to feel really forced.
Right.
A.k.a. Picard Season 1.
Sure.